I'd like to welcome everybody to the Spring 2021 MCLEAPS Internship Program. This is a partnership of Arizona State University of County, and we are completing our 7th year. This is our 14th semester with this program, and so I'm glad to have you all here today to join us in recognizing the work that the students did this semester and for Maricopa County, their departments, and the residents as well. We have members of ASU, the students, some of their family and friends, their supervisors, and some of their co-workers joining us today. So we'd like to get started with welcoming and opening remarks. So Jonathan, I'm going to hand it over to you to get us going.
Great, thanks Mary Jo. And just Zoom housekeeping, make sure you're on mute so we don't have any embarrassing incidents on our Zoom call. These are the modern things to watch out for. It's hard to believe, Mary Jo, that we're in the 7th year. I was thinking that as we started. We've been doing this a while now, and so it's great. It's great to see everybody. I heard a thing on the radio the other day about a famous poem that, if you don't know it, you should know it. It's part of the classics of American literature by Dylan Thomas, called "Do Not Go Gentle Into This Good Night." You're saying, "Oh, that's a little dark," because it's about somebody dying. But I thought of it because, like, I think we're all getting used to doing these things on Zoom, and we've sort of accepted it and see it as, there's some positives about it. But I'm gonna rage against the Zooming of our lives and look forward to being together in person, where I can see you and participate in this event with you, because it is always a highlight of the semester. To hear what you have all been up to, and to see the good work that you have done, and I am super impressed, as I was the last time we did this, by how both you, the students, and our partners at Maricopa County have been able to carry out this program even under the different circumstances that the coronavirus has created. It's remarkable, but of course it's not the same. So I look forward to convening again together. And so before I do that, though, I want to acknowledge, first of all, Mary Jo has done a terrific job with this program from the outset, and thank you to her, not just for this gathering, but for overseeing the program. And she would be the first to say that that's not possible without the incredible partnership from Maricopa County. I know Director Jan Plank is going to speak in a moment, who runs Human Resources, but this is supported all the way down. I've talked about this with Joy Rich and her predecessors, and I know that the department heads, many of whom are here today, and the individual supervisors who work with our students, they are big supporters of this program, and obviously it would be meaningless without that support and the trust that they put both in us to identify great students and in the students themselves, who are empowered to be real difference makers. And so I can't think of a more true partnership between ASU and the county. And I want to recognize Vice Dean Leitz, who we've already heard from, sort of. I saw Don Siegel, who's the director of our School of Public Affairs, which is where many of our interns, not all of them, but many of them come from the School of Public Affairs. We're very proud of our local government program. And I saw some instructors. I know Jeffrey Gonsher is here. He's looking in his full retired hippiness there. I see. But I didn't see us. Bill Terrell, who's our associate dean, is with us. I'm probably missing somebody, but I didn't scroll through carefully enough. This is something that we are excited about and we enjoy. And let me finish by just a brief word about what I think is the significance of this program, because as I often point out, the a lot of people, and I would think that this is true of some of our students, don't realize really, like, what does the county government do, and what significance does it play in my life? We have conversations about public policy, we have conversations about, you know, the world and what's wrong with it, but we often lose sight of the critical work that's done to make policy real, to make our lives function the way they do in ways that seem banal. You know, whether you're talking about waste or security or environmental protection or traffic or roads or the justice system, like all these things, like, well, somebody must do that. It's like, yeah, real people who are solving real problems in real time. And without that, all of these assumptions about how the world works and how safe we are and how secure we are and how easy life is, all of these assumptions are wrong. And if you don't believe that, we can come up with a long list of places that don't have that, and where life is fundamentally different because you don't have dedicated public servants who are figuring out how to make things work in the most efficient, most equitable, most just way possible. And so I always am particularly excited by this program to hear from the students who've had their eyes opened up to that if they weren't aware of it already. And obviously some were, and some of them have great work experience already. So I'm not saying everybody's new. And so that's tremendous. I mean, we've heard just in the last few days, we've heard from President Biden that we're going to have a new era of government engagement on infrastructure, on jobs, on healthcare, on childcare. You know, the sketch that he put out there was to have billions is so 2015, trillions of dollars in new spending, which is exciting. I wonder where we're going to get those trillions of dollars, but that's another question. But who's going to do that? Who's going to make that happen? Who's going to figure out what's the best use of those trillions of dollars? Who's going to ensure that it's not just being frittered away in a wasteful fashion? You are, right? You're the ones who are going to do that. And our friends at Maricopa County and Arizona state government and municipal government, and obviously in the federal government, they have to take those broad ideas and these big checks with lots of zeros behind them and aspirations of how they're going to transform people's lives, and they have to make them real. And it's not easy. It's not easy. And so I'm very grateful for all of you, both the teachers and the students here, for committing yourselves to figuring out how to do that, because that's what's gonna take the promise of those sorts of investments and turn it into something tangible that at the end of the day improves people's lives. That's the aspiration. So I'm terrifically excited. And then the last thing I'll say, so people know, I'm grateful to the president's office here at ASU that has supported this program from the outset, that allows us to create a learning environment which provides support to the students as you're engaged in this learning experience. It wouldn't be possible without it. And it speaks to the commitment of not just President Crow, but of ASU to this kind of learning and this kind of partnership with government agencies to create a cadre of people committed in the way I just described. So it's important for you to understand that the reason we're sitting here is because that commitment has been made by the university and personally by the president of the university, because it's based on a belief about how the world needs to work if we are going to be successful. So I'll leave it there. I think I don't know where she went because I saw her before, but I think Director Plank is here somewhere, and I think she's next in the program.
I'm here. Okay. Can you see me?
Yes. Oh, there you are. See, I needed to speak in order to pop up onto my screen. So I'll turn it over to her to give opening remarks as well.
Okay. Thanks so much, Dean. Great to see you again, albeit virtually. And I just want to welcome our students. It seems like yesterday that this semester started, but I just have to give a shout out again to Mary Jo, Danielle, and Carrie from our team. Just worked marvelously well together under adverse circumstances, as well as our students and our supervisors. Some of our county supervisors that may be on the call today have been with the MCLEAPS program. You mentioned 14 semesters. We've had 147, including this group here today. And that to me is very, very remarkable, because by now, 7 years later, we have turned out future leaders that are showing up not only locally, but nationally out of this program. So that is so exciting. I just want to, as we look back on this year, it's been incredibly, challenging and trying. But what we can say about it is that you guys have exhibited resilience, agility, and just a really nimble attitude. Both our supervisors as well as our students. And as we move forward in the workforce of tomorrow today, which is what we call it at Maricopa County, those characteristics are as important as the area of study that you are going into, the technical as well as the field that you ultimately choose, whether that's human resources, whether that's environmental services, whether it's public policy, wherever you would land, being agile, being able to, just move on a dime, those are such critical characteristics. And showing up in whatever environment, wherever you have to work, and just showing up and being able to perform at your optimal level. And I think, if anything, that was shown by the students this semester. We too, Dean, are looking forward to having everybody back next semester in person and doing a lot more in-person work. Some of the virtual work, though, that has gone off so well will also continue. We had virtual tours this semester, at our library and at our environmental services department, I think at the sheriff's office. And so we kind of put that together as best we can, but we look forward to next semester's group as well. Got to put a plug in, got to put a recruitment plug in for you guys too. Maricopa County, county government, in its entirety. We don't always do the really, the coolest things. The cities are doing, like Cityscape and all the different urban renewal and development, but we really, really serve the citizens of our community. We have the medical examiner's office where we serve thousands of families every year who are in crisis. We have our correctional health group who gives, actually, through their programs, a new start to individuals who have run into legal trouble and criminal activity in our community, and in fact can be a turnaround point for them in our jails. Our environmental services group, going out, inspecting restaurants and, just pest control, vector control, all that good stuff. Our air quality people who are actively engaged in making sure our air is improving. So anyway, we do all that great stuff. And I want to encourage you to think of Maricopa County as you plan your career, because we'd love to see some of you back. We have hired a number of MCLEAPS interns who are very successful with our organization. And we hope that you'll consider that as well as you look at public service for your career. I think I might have said at the beginning of the semester, every day we wake up, don't we? And especially last year, and we opened our phone and we said, okay, what politician is being disgraced today? What public servant has not been honest today? And we have the opportunity, you guys have the opportunity to be that one who makes a difference in this space, because government is changing and we are about what's moving forward and what's moving ahead. So it's the most exciting time to be in public sector service. And again, we look forward to hopefully having some of you in our organization in the days ahead. So good luck. Thanks for everything you guys did this semester. You made it work. We pulled it off. Was it ideal? Not always, for sure, but you did it. And again, those characteristics of agility and nimbleness and resilience, I think, are going to serve you really well. So anyway, good luck to you. Really looking forward to seeing your presentations.
Thank you, Dean Capel and HR Director Plank. So the moment you've all been waiting for. we will move on to. Would one of the groups let me know who is going to go first with their presentation?
I'm okay with going first, if my team is okay as well.
So this will be on your program, the first team, with James McKinnon, Elizabeth Waters, Anya Salas, Jordan Hicks, and Wonru Liu.
Alrighty, everyone. So everyone here is those names that Mary Jo just mentioned. This is our MCLEAPS Spring 2021 presentation. So my name is Ana Salas. I have the wonderful opportunity to intern with the Maricopa School Superintendent Office. So I was directly overseen by Shane Workforce. The location of my office is going to be 4041 Central Avenue. I don't know if anybody has ever been to the building, but the views from the 12th floor are absolutely amazing, and it's very conveniently placed, very close to Lux. So I was there a lot as well. I worked with the government and public relations team, and the office atmosphere, I would just have to say, I was very scared going into it, but I've never been so welcomed in a place. Some of the projects that I specifically worked on was bill tracking. Additionally, my very favorite was governing board appointments. I got to sit on about like 3 or 4 of those, which was very impactful, and it gave me a lot of knowledge into what's actually happening in the school districts within Maricopa County, and what's affecting one district is not affecting another district as well. Additionally, that picture is from the STEM Resource Center. One of the amazing things that the Maricopa School Superintendent Office does is that it takes donations from Amazon, and we typically sort them into different categories, and we have teachers from all around Maricopa County coming in and being able to select a few of those items so that they can use within their own classrooms. Funny story, this semester actually Amazon donated like, I don't know how many pallets of chips that teachers would leave the STEM Resource Center with about like 4 boxes of just chips. And I know I took about like 8 home as well. So as I mentioned before, I was a part of a lot of the governing board appointments. One of the things that I've learned throughout my life, as well as being in this position with the Maricopa County School Superintendent, is that education is the greatest equalizer. On the far right there, you are going to see the school superintendent, Steve Watson. One of the sweetest and kindest guys that I've ever met. I don't think I've ever had a nicer boss. So on the left side, we have Dr. Tara Armstead. She was actually my first appointment with the Maricopa County School Superintendent Office. She was appointed to Litchfield, and she actually made us really proud. She has handled her position very well. On the right, we have Ryan Centers, and he is actually in the Levine School Governing Board. I think that our team really did well with these decisions. Actually, on Monday, we had another swearing in with Christina Eichelkraut with the Balls District, and I'm really excited to see the amazing things that she gets to do there. And just a few special shout outs. This is the team that I worked really well with. We have the Maricopa County School Superintendent, Steve Watson and his family, Chief Deputy right below him, Matt Morales, and my Supervisor, Director of Government and Public Relations, Shane Wickforce. If you see that picture, Shane just got a wonderful, beautiful little grandchild. So he's very excited about that, and I'm very happy for him. One of the things that I didn't expect coming into this internship is finding like such a welcoming group of people that are constantly having conversations about what is the best taco place in Maricopa County. So I got a few suggestions out of them.
So hi everyone, I'm a second-year MPA student. My name is Wen Yu, also go by Barbara. So So I'm in the MPA program with an emphasis on nonprofit administration, and I'm graduating next week. And I intern with the Maricopa County Human Services Department, the finance unit. Next slide. The finance unit. HSD provides a wide range of services in Maricopa for vulnerable populations and persons with barriers, including low-income families, persons seeking employment opportunities, and communities in need. The finance unit provides financial and compliance functions like budget development and oversight. It has been such a rewarding experience, and I got to learn more about the programs in Human Services Department, and it has helped me enhance my professional development and lay a solid foundation for my future career path. Next slide, please. I've undertaken several different projects. I researched the finance and budget best practices with other counties and requested copies of their financial templates, which helped me improve my communication skills and provided more insights into finance and budget policies. Also, I was responsible for updating the account payable policy procedures and the flowcharts. To complete this project, I had the opportunities to talk to all program managers and grant accountants to understand how they check and approve the program invoices and other supporting documents. Finally, I've been involved in launching the new system, Dynamics. It helps the department manage and approve cases more efficiently and effectively. Next slide. Oh, I think. So from the internship, I've become a better team player. It helped me improve my communication skill, became more familiar with the Visio software program, and I've improved my time management skill to help me balance my work and school. Next slide, please. Finally, a special shout out to these incredible people. My supervisor, Nicole, she's been very helpful and kind. She's provided me different opportunities, and I got to expose to the work of the department. And he provided me step-by-step instructions to help me complete my projects. And Jamie, she also worked with me closely. He helped me improve my work and answer all my questions. Finally, special shout outs to Carrie, Danielle, and Mary Jo for delivering valuable information on the professional development days and helping us navigate different departments and the work in the county. Well, that's all my presentation.
Thank you, Barbara and Anna. My name is James, and I am a student who just graduated from the MPA program here at ASU. I think I can say that even though graduation isn't for another week. I did an emphasis in emergency management, and I was grateful to be a part of the MCLEAPS internship program by working with the Maricopa County Department of Emergency Management. And something you're going to notice in quite a few of our slides and how we talk about this thing, there are lots of acronyms in the government field. So I want you to be aware. I might use some acronyms. Sometimes I'll explain them, sometimes I won't. So bear with me and have patience. I'm originally from Alpine, Utah, so I'm glad I could come down here and experience Maricopa County and all it has to offer and work so closely with an excellent team. And I didn't know what to expect, honestly, coming into this internship program and working with the Department of Emergency Management, but everything has exceeded my expectations because of that. Next slide, please. So my supervisor during my time with MCDEM, and to remind you, Maricopa County Department of Emergency Management, was Richard Peel. And Rich is the Senior Radiological Planner for Emergency Management here. And it's been a unique situation because so many other people in MCDEM have also helped supervise me and train me in different ways, because Rich was lucky enough to have a baby born during the semester. And so he took some time away to help take care of his newborn baby and his spouse. And I was grateful for the opportunity to work with him closely, as well as other people within the department. I worked in this bunker here that you see, which is the McDem bunker, and unique experience working in a bunker that was built decades ago. But we get by in this bunker, and it's an awesome place to coordinate the planning and responses to emergency situations and incidents. Another place I was able to work was the Unified Command Center for COVID-19, which is referred to as the UCC, going on with these acronyms again. And I was grateful for that opportunity because it really gave me a hands-on experience in a real-life incident that's actually ongoing. The teams I worked for would be the McDem Rep team, and that's the radiological emergency planning team, as well as the all hazards team helping with some coordination, and the Unified Command Center team. Next slide, please. Some of the projects I worked on were one of which being the Palo Verde Generating Station exercises. So Palo Verde Generating Station is one of the largest generating stations in the nation, and we have a unique opportunity to provide incident response with other agencies, departments, as well as McDem's emergency managers. And I was able to take part in these exercises, help do some planning and preparation work for them, as well as acting as a key role in the exercise. I also had the opportunity to work in the Unified Command Center as a deputy planning chief, and that was an awesome opportunity to get hands-on experience in the demobilization efforts of a Unified Command Center and a real-life incident that's ongoing. The P that you see there is called the planning P, or the planning cycle. I included that just so you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like working in a planning environment in the emergency management world. And a lot of the things I took from this experience and these experiences with McDem was the ability to manage teams and work better in teams, to coordinate amongst different departments and agencies, as well as get a better understanding of emergency management overall. And next slide, please. So this is just some pictures of some of the opportunities I had with this internship. On the bottom left, that's actually during the Palo Verde Generating Station exercise. The top right is one of the pod sites or points of dispensation sites for the COVID-19 vaccine, which we helped coordinate and helped work with Maricopa County Health Department. And the bottom right is in the SWAT Sheriff's Office utility and storage area. Pretty awesome opportunity to coordinate with so many different departments and agencies in the county. You can move to the next slide. So as you can see, we have a trend of giving some shout outs to different people within our departments. And it was really hard for me to nail down a short list. And even this is a shorter list than what I could provide. But obviously Richard Peel as my supervisor, Bruce Monson as an adjunct supervisor when Rich had to be away for his family, and Rudy Perez working in the Unified Command Center. But obviously Robert Rowley, Hector Andrade, Marissa Von Holten, Josh Youngvert, Brian Woodard, and Jesus Haro are some of the names I wanted to include here, but the whole McDem team made this opportunity so valuable for me and gives me such a great platform to go in and start my career in the emergency management field. Next slide. And thank you again.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, James. My name is Elizabeth Waters, and I am concurrently enrolled in the ASU Watts College Master of Public Administration program and the Master of Legal Studies program at Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law. My emphasis is in government management and government contracts. I was chosen as the Spring 2021 Office of Procurement Services intern. When I applied, I really had no idea how incredible this experience was going to be and how it was going to impact my future. This program has wildly exceeded my expectations. Slide. My amazing supervisor was Lisa Bernhardt, and anyone who knows Lisa knows I speak the truth. The Office of Procurement Services is located in downtown Phoenix at 160 South 4th Avenue. I spent most of my entire internship teleworking, and even though I was only in the office a handful of times, the interaction with the team was still a really wonderful experience online, as good as it could be. I was welcome to every meeting, and my suggestions and my ideas were accepted and appreciated, and I felt that I was a valued member of the team. Lisa's team members have a camaraderie that was refreshing to witness. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before. Their goal to bring the best service to the county through procurement was aligned with my personal belief that the citizens of Maricopa County should come first. Their love, this team's love for what they do each day really reinforced my desire to become part of the Maricopa County family after graduation. Slide. So I can't say enough about this internship opportunity. Honestly, I could be here all day. The collaboration between ASU and Maricopa County that unites passionate students with an experience that can propel their future is unparalleled to any other work program that I have ever encountered. This internship helped me to develop knowledge about the procurement code and the processes and procedures of editing and reviewing solicitation contracts, which, as you know, being my emphasis, is important to me. I was really appreciative of the professionalism among the team. It was always demonstrated, and the procurement department modeled excellence, just amazing excellence in customer service, both internally and externally. Procurement services is an extremely important part of the county. If anybody doesn't know, we use our procurement code as our rule book and our guide, and we contract everything in the county from bullets to underwear. The mission statement of procurement services is to provide innovative, cost-effective, and quality services to county agencies through a strategic and systematic approach so that they can get the right product at the right time and, most importantly, at the right price. We go through these stages of planning and purchasing through contract formation and also contract administration. I was involved with several really great projects with the Office of Procurement Services. Reviewing and editing contracts was not the only task that I performed. I was also invited to participate in the interview process for a new hire to the department, which was really cool. I was encouraged to offer my feedback by Lisa, my supervisor, and also my Chief Procurement Officer, Kevin. And it was just this great experience to be on the other side of the interview process. Another task that I was happy to perform was the cleanup of the Maricopa County Office of Procurement Services website, both the internal and the external. So just for the employee. Citizens and the employees. So working on most recently is an overhaul. My supervisor, she took full advantage of my creative ability and put me in charge of streamlining the information and updating the look of the training program. And it will debut on May 4th. So to all those county employees out there who require your certified agency procurement aid, whether you need to be newly certified or you're recertifying, that's my work you're going to be seeing, and I'm very proud of it. The internship with procurement services was, in my opinion, a huge success, as it correlates to the advancement of my education through real-world experience. Not only was the work I performed valuable, but I was also able to visit other Maricopa departments and employees to really get a full understanding of how all the departments work together toward a common goal. I could not have asked for a more enriching experience than the one that I received through MCLEAPS. slide. All right, my shout outs. So Kevin, he is our Chief Procurement Officer and he is a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much, Kevin, for making me feel so welcome at the department. Elizabeth is our contract queen, and she was the one who helped to train me through the contracts that we use with the vendors. And I am so impressed with her knowledge of contract administration. She really is incredible at the job that she does. Jennifer is only somebody that I have worked with recently, but she is a huge benefit to the county and her work ethic is impeccable. And I really appreciate her willingness to take time out of her day to teach me new things. And also we love to laugh, so it's been a blast. Ted is our training officer, and I spent a lot of hours with Ted in class, learning about CAPA and contract administration. He was extremely helpful. He was always there and available when I needed questions answered. And Josh is our senior IT supervisor. He has a great sense of humor, and I was able to get to know him very well through some of our common interests. And we also had a really good laugh when I panicked because I thought my county computer was being hacked, but he was on top of it. So he was really great to work with. Of course, I have to save the best for last. Lisa, my supervisor, I could not have wished for a better boss for this internship, I have to say. Lisa is a strong woman with incredible management skills and always valued my contributions to the team. She has welcomed me into the Office of Procurement Services without hesitation. She has an extremely high expectations, and I strive to meet them with my work performance as evidence to her. She understands my goals and she has my best interests at heart. She has an incredible talent for managing her team responsibly and trusts their skills and capabilities, which she just makes just an incredible, incredible leader. And I wish all leaders could be just like her. In all my job experience, I have never had a supervisor quite like her. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being my mentor and handing me one of the most valuable professional experiences of my life. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, my name is Jordan Hicks. I'm a senior at ASU. I'm going to be graduating next week with a bachelor's in political science and a minor in business. The department I worked with was facilities management as a project management intern. I really didn't have any expectations before starting the role. I was very uncertain as to what to expect. I do have quite a few years of experience as a in commercial construction as a glazer under my belt, but this was my first foray into construction project management, so I really had no idea what to expect. Slide. All right, so there's a picture of our wonderful FMD building on a rainy day. But so my supervisor was Charles C.J. Jones. However, I worked closely with two project managers as well, a Mr. Scott Dean and a Mr. Jared Justice. Two of the nicer guys you'll never meet. The team atmosphere was absolutely fantastic. Oh, sorry, the location first. Location was at the 401 West Jefferson building downtown. I was also on site to a lot of our job sites, so that it took me all the way out to Avondale or Mesa, but primarily downtown, working on the 301 Administration Building and Central Courts Tower. So my time with the office, the team atmosphere was absolutely wonderful. I was treated as an equal employee the entire time I was there. Everybody wanted to help me and get the most out of my internship any way they could. And this included some cross-departmental training, so I was able to partake in continuity of operations planning with James. That's called COOP. That's with emergency management. That was a lot of fun. And I also was invited to submit a heart-healthy recipe for the county cookbook. So I hope that those of you with the county will all try to make my achote chicken sometime. But slide. All right, so here's some pictures of the projects. Up there on the top, that is the lobby, which just opened up at 301. So I would love to see you all come down and take a peek. It's very nice. Then in the bottom left, that is one of the work floors that we just refinished. And I think that everybody that works there is very, very happy with the work we've done. Some of the comments we've gotten is, oh my gosh, it looks like Google. But, and then on the bottom right, that is one of the new courtrooms that we've done on floor 13 at Central Courts Tower. So hopefully you never have to see that. But it's been a lot of fun. So my favorite project, or some of them, were the 12th floor at Central Courts. That was one of the main projects I was put in charge of. I was put in charge of the demolition, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching the process of that all getting torn out and, you know, putting out some of the small fires that occurred with that process, such as some water leaks from nicked pipes or environmental issues like lead mitigation. The 301 restack, which is basically a giant remodeling project of the administration building at 301 Jefferson, is another one of the projects I was heavily involved in. I insisted in a lot of the moves, shuffling employees around so they could, you know, tear up their old offices and build brand new, shiny new ones. And, you know, I think I really enjoyed that because I got to see a lot of the employees when they got to their new digs and how happy they were with that. You know, I also did a lot of punch walks where I was able to use my experience as a former construction worker to point out things which needed to be fixed or improved or completed to a higher standard. And one of my favorite projects, which is still currently ongoing, is the Avondale substation for Maricopa County Sheriff's Department. That started out in February, and the first time I was out there, it was a literal farm field with crops growing. And now it's an active construction site. They're prepping the slab, and the building is going up fast. So it's really kind of cool to be able to watch something transform from a field with, you know, cotton and burrowing owls into a usable building for public safety. Okay, so the projects that I completed, they served quite a bit of the county, both employees as well as the users, the people who live here and require these services and whatnot. For instance, in this picture right here on the top, you can see where planning and development is going to be going, and it's going to be their one-stop shop for all your planning and development needs. So that'll be absolutely wonderful for the for the people, and for myself, I got some amazing experience out of this. I got an excellent inner view into the workings of how the county and how the departments all communicate and coordinate around something as complex as the 301 restack, where, you know, you're trying to accommodate everyone and let everyone work and shuffle them around, and at the same time you're also demolishing and rebuilding the building around them while they're trying to work. So it's a very interesting kind of relationship, and facilities management kind of acts as the hub around all of which this depends to, you know, keep rolling. So I really enjoyed it, and I had a great time. So slide. So here's some of my special shout outs. I couldn't list all of them like some of the other folks on my team. There were just too many of them. But Scott Dean is one of my favorites. I worked very closely with him. Unfortunately, he had to take a medical leave of absence this last week. He works too hard and hurt his ankle. But CJ, you're great. Love you, man. You've been one of the best supervisors I've ever had. Jared, I don't know if you made it on the call or not, but hope you are there, man. I enjoyed working with you out at Avondale and at Estrella, and it's just been a great time, you know, working with the whole facilities management team. It's like one big happy family over here, and I couldn't wish for more. Slide.
And with that, our presentation is over. Thank you to my team. I think we did a wonderful job at this, and I just want to thank everyone that does put forward this Maricopa County and ASU coalition. It is really beneficial and helpful to all of the students, and I know that we all got different things out of it, but it's a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Thank you to this team for your presentation and your work throughout the semester. We have a second team, Drew Segato, Abriana Mason, Jess Johnson, Kendra Shonek, and Emma Pockert. And I believe Kendra's going to share her screen.
Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to our presentation. We are very excited to share our experiences with you all today. And first, we're going to hear from Kendra.
Hello everyone, my name is Kendra Shonek. I had the wonderful opportunity to intern for a second semester in a row with the Maricopa County Juvenile Probation Department. I am graduating next week with my BS in Communications. All right, so to jump right in with it, I worked, like I said, with Juvenile Probation Department. You might hear me refer to that as JPD. I'll start off with our mission, vision, and values, which really drives the core of the work that's done at JPD. So our mission is to promote public safety through positive change. So we want to make sure that we are being positive agents in the community so that we can impact the juveniles that we work with, really, and everybody else for that matter. We envision a future where all juveniles are positive change agents in their community and great members of society. And we value change, hope, innovation, empathy, fairness, safety, and strong foundations. The Durango Detention Facility is located in Phoenix, as you can see the address there. And I had an incredible supervisor the past 2 semesters that I cannot thank enough. That is Mrs. Laura Eller. And she is the Innovations and Communications Manager for JPD. I also want to take a moment to thank JPD Chief Eric Moe for having me a part of the team the past 2 semesters, as well as Cipriano Rosales, who's also on this call, who have both worked significantly with me to ensure that my internship has been incredible. All right, so some key projects and initiatives that I worked on. The 2 main things that I did included communication outreach and Thrivecast. So I'll start first with communication outreach. So I worked with the monthly newsletter last semester as well as this semester. And I've had the opportunity to add to the department-wide publication that goes out. And my hope was to share stories and connect people to each other, especially in a time such as this where remote working is at an all-time high. And it was important to me to conduct interviews and create write-ups that were worth the read and were really people were able to experience more than just who their coworker was at work, but who they are behind, who they truly are, and behind, you could say behind the scenes. The second thing I worked on was the creation of JPD flyers and brochures. So the Juvenile Probation Department was looking for brochures to create so that outside people such as juveniles, guardians, parents, and stakeholders could receive a breakdown of how the system works, what we stand for, our purpose, etc. So I had the opportunity to work on that, which was awesome for communication outreach and definitely up my alley. The last thing with communication outreach that I did was the Hope Closet flyer. So you could see that on the top right of the slide right there. And my intentions were to bring about awareness for donations needed in the department. So the outcome of the flyer was enormous. We had an enormous outpouring from the judicial branch staff who wanted to donate. And it was awesome to see the community, especially our own staff, coming together for a great cause. The next project I really took on was called Thrivecast. This is something that I was introduced to last semester, however, really got to get my feet wet with it this semester, which was incredible. So it's a relatively new platform in detention that supports growth among youth, both personally and within their communities. So the department has successfully implemented the program in detention and has now begun the rollout in the field for youth on probation. So that is currently being piloted. And you can see the logo for Thrivecast on the bottom right there. And then to jump in a little more about Thrivecast, the youth in detention are allowed to work on iPads and work through modules of choice to help them grow and really learn and connect with each other. And so you can see the picture on the right, we have, it's called Preparing for the Court Date. So this is an example of a series of modules that they could work through. So it says how to conduct yourself in court, who will be at court, in terms to know. So this is important because these are things that a lot of juveniles and youth and even myself didn't know before entering the system or becoming a part of in working for them. And so it's important to allow, these youth to come to understand what it is that they're doing or dealing with and how we can help them become successful and positive people in the community. So a certificate of achievement, like the one shown at the bottom right of the slide, is awarded to youth who have completed a collection of modules and whose stories have both been approved and accepted by the adult staff. This is more examples from the staff perspective. So as you can see on the top left of the module, I can read more on people's stories about why they became an officer, for example. It's extremely eye-opening, and not just for the youth, but for adult employees as well. So it's awesome to read through as an intern and see, okay, why did these people become an officer? Why are they doing the things that they're doing? And it's great to see the passion that really drives the work being done. The staff modules differ from that of the youths because they're designed for different outcomes. So as far as the MCLEAPS impact, for ASU lessons, I have been able to apply my studies as a comm student in a vast number of ways. I've had the opportunity to grow in my marketing skills, as well as global and intercultural fluency in working with different projects and people along the way. Key jobs definitely includes communicating effectively, both verbally and through written ways, which is vital in order to get the job done in a timely fashion. It's always a priority of mine to give my input, which was accepted and utilized across the board, which is what makes MCLEAPS truly stand out and makes it an incredible opportunity. As far as the Maricopa County impact, this is really my first opportunity through this internship to serve as both a public servant and leader. So it was awesome to be able to serve the community and be engaged in a positive environment. And I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to serve and connect with new people. My key takeaway from the semester is that communication is powerful and that communication is what unites people. What we see as citizens originates from the core of a team's work through communication and productivity. And that little picture at the bottom shows that it really takes each person's connection and ideas to create what we see on the outside as citizens. So thank you.
Thank you, Kendra. Hello, everyone. I am Drew Segudo. I had the pleasure to be the intern for Maricopa County Department of Transportation. I am extremely excited to be graduating this semester. My major is Urban and Metropolitan Studies with a minor in Urban Planning. Thank you all for being here. Next slide, please. Maricopa County Department of Transportation are team members who provide connections that improve people's lives. Our core value is being service-minded team builders who get it done with a smile. They serve over 4.4 million residents and 2,524 miles of roadway. Not to mention the amount of people moving in is growing each and every year. Next slide, please. I had the pleasure to work with this amazing team. Tracy Ruth is the Division Manager of Communications and Outreach. My direct supervisor is Zoe Richmond. She's the Communications Branch Manager. Her premier communications team includes 5 amazing professionals, which I worked with. Kelly Dixon is the Partnering and Training Supervisor. I was able to work closely with her and Chelsea Bloom at the end of my internship. And finally, our administrative assistant, Margaret, is the glue that holds everyone together. I thank you all for helping me have the best experience I could ask for. Next slide, please. The key projects I worked on were redesigning the roadway maintenance pavement preservation door hangers. When I came in, the image you see on the left is what we originally were using. And it was word heavy, and if you look really closely, it has much technical information in it. The final product I produced is next to it. As you can see, it relies more on graphics and shorter sentences to get this information across, which makes it easier to read and understand for our residents. The next project I was able to complete was our work zone safety card, which was distributed internally to our employees to celebrate Work Zone Awareness Week. This card provided them with the information on our involvement strategies for the week. The project I ended on was our news conference we held for Work Zone Awareness Week. I helped with this by creating a briefings book for the event, which included the agenda and biographies on each of our speakers. I did work on other projects, but these are all that I was able to fit in this speech. Next slide, please. The MCLEAPS experience has had a tremendous positive impact on me and my professional development. This will help me to follow a career path into transportation. By being an extra set of hands, I was able to help create a successful news conference with McDOT. By the way, McDOT hasn't held one in over 5 years, so this was a great showcase of the team's talent to know they can continue to hold these events. My supervisor, Zoe Richmond, presented me with a YES Award for my impact on the department. She said, Drew single-handedly has restored the communications team belief in the benefit in interns. I am pleased to know I was able to contribute significantly to this department. Next slide, please. The takeaways I have from this internship are how extremely important it is to communicate to the public early in the project process. It is critical they are aware of what is taking place and to discover their interest in the project. The depth these projects go into is highly methodical. Even just to put in a traffic signal, there is a process every project the county must go through. The various career paths available in the transportation field are more extensive than I originally thought. This internship has opened my eyes to positions I wasn't aware of before this opportunity. Thank you. You can go to the next slide.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Jess Johnson, and I'm in my 3rd year of undergraduate work at ASU. I'm studying global studies and history and earning a certificate in political history and leadership. And this semester, I had the amazing opportunity to work at the Maricopa County Superior Court in the Data Integrity and Analytics Department. Next slide, please. The judicial branch's slogan is that the judicial branch of Arizona is committed to excellence and the principles inherent in the rule of law. Every person, every day, every time. One of the ways that the judicial branch maintains this commitment to excellence is through the Department of Data Integrity and Analytics, which manages case information that is shared with the public and within the courts so that data-driven improvements can be made. The department's goal of promoting informed decision-making is reflected in its mission statement that reads, "The Data Integrity and Analytics Department is committed to providing accurate and meaningful information to help make data-driven decisions across the judicial branch." Next slide, please. While I was working for the Data Integrity and Analytics Department, I created and distributed monthly reports on all criminal, civil, family, tax, lower court of appeals, mental health, and probate cases moving through the system. I also helped with quality assurance, helping other members of the department verify the accuracy of their reports. And I also had the opportunity to be trained in SAS, which is a software for data management and analysis. Finally, I used the skills and resources the internship provided me with to create an analysis of drug case trends in Arizona from 2015 to 2020. Next slide, please. Throughout the semester, the MCLEAPS program hosted professional development days in which all the interns would get together and participate in trainings designed to help us in the workplace. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about my favorite one of those trainings. In my favorite training, we learned about a personality test that's called the True Colors test. In this test, people will qualify as being either a gold, an orange, a blue, or a green personality, or a combination of those colors, whose specific characteristics are listed on the slide. We then learned about how these different personality types like to communicate and how they like to be communicated with. And this was a really fun and useful lesson because you can often guess what colors the people you work with are. But even if you can't, this lesson taught us to be considerate of the different wants and the different needs of individuals so that they can function at their best in the workplace. Next slide, please. Another really important lesson that I learned from this internship was the importance of data-driven decisions. Courts have begun relying more heavily on data for case management, strategic planning, budgeting, and evaluating court performance. Accurate and timely data increases both effective operation of the courts and public trust and confidence in the system. I truly believe that a culture that values data creation and use will thrive. Next slide, please. Finally, I just wanted to say thank you to the entire Data Integrity and Analytics Department. It is a group of really incredible people doing really meaningful work. And Tabitha Martineau, who was my supervisor, she taught me so much and was so supportive throughout the semester. I really appreciate everything she's done for me. Thank you.
Hello everybody, thank you Jess. My name is Aubriana Mason. I usually go by Aubrey. I was interning with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office Judicial Enforcement Civil Division. I am graduating in the next 5 days or so. Super excited for that. And I was majoring in public service and public policy with a focus in criminology and criminal justice. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned before, I was with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office Civil Division. We are located at 201 West Jefferson on the second floor of the West Court building. And if you look in that picture, it's the small building just to the right in the corner of the picture. The mission of the Sheriff's Office is to work together to safeguard our communities. The vision is to ensure MCSO is the leading law enforcement agency united with our communities. And our values include honesty, humility, perseverance, respect, trust, and unity. All in all, this means, and I've been able to see it while working with them, we are truthful in our words and actions. We do our due diligence to serve our community. The amount of communication we have with them is amazing. Humility, we are committed to learning and serving one another, so learning from our mistakes and growing upon that. We are in a constant pursuit of excellence, and I've been able to see that in the workplace. We embrace the diversity of our communities. We trust the foundation of all the relationships and networks that we are able to build amongst the county, as well as just working together towards a common goal, which is safeguarding our community. Next slide, please. So my one key project this semester was orders of protection. So you guys are going to get a breakdown of exactly what I did this semester for the past 4 months or so. So if you look to the right of the screen on the second picture, that is what the top of an order of protection typically looks like. You'll have your case number, usually starting with FC or FN, and if there's a slight mistake, it can make all the difference. I've actually learned that. And so my process there for this project was archiving served and dismissed orders to give clerks an idea of what orders have been dismissed so that we are able to mark them and close those cases on our end. So my process while I was there was documenting my printing process, which was going through every alert that we had received from the AZ Point system and writing down every case number with every coinciding defendant last name so that we could keep track of all the ones we had printed and distributed out that day. So then I would notate any issues that may have arisen, and on a daily basis, I think I would walk into my supervisor's office about more times than I could count on my hand with issues that would arise and just asking how I can get around it, what I could learn from it, and she was always great in giving me excellent feedback on that. After that, I would intake and transfer all of the cases we would get from justice courts or municipal courts. I was able to learn a good bit from that. When making transfer notes, I can't say this defendant's address is in your jurisdiction because it would get sent back and I would have to put it's in your precinct. And that precinct map is pretty hard to look at, but now I can say I'm pretty comfortable with looking at maps. I was able to compile and timestamp all of these documents, which is probably the easier part of this. And then I was able to assign and distribute them to their designated beat, which is just how our county and county islands are broken up amongst their zip code. Next slide, please. So some of the impact that MCLEAPS had on me is, one, I was able to make a great impact in the county. Before coming into this internship, during my interview process, I was able to ask my supervisors, Joanne and Brandy, what their perspective was on whether or not orders of protection had increased over this past year, knowing that, you know, some people who are in tough situations, they didn't have their safe place to be able to get out of the house since we were on a lockdown. So I was able to contribute to our county's mission and impact by assisting the processing of these orders of protection to keep those in our community feeling safe and heard, and just basically validating what is going on in their personal lives. As for my professional advancement, I was able to obtain a knowledge of different court systems used to manage all of the client's documents. So AZ Point, very comfortable with that, but there are still issues that would arise that made my hands sweat a little bit because I didn't know how to handle them. I was also able to get to maneuver the system of ISIS, which is probably a great backup to AZ Point. If they weren't in there, I was able to check ISIS usually, and all documents would be in there, all updated, and kind of giving us an idea of what the actual point of the process was, as well as Civil Alert, which was more of our county's system, and I could go in there and see if any of our clerks had closed out a case or had made any communication with the plaintiff or defendant. And lastly, my student development. So being a criminal justice student, I was able to apply what I had learned to aiding and assisting our community. I was able to learn real life experience and kind of answer all the questions that I had from my past few courses while we've been learning online that I couldn't typically have a discussion with the professor after class. So it was really nice getting to just all around get a better shape of what our criminal justice system is. I've had experience in a law firm, so having experience in a public entity with just individuals coming in throughout the day was truly awesome because it's something I'm very passionate about. Next slide, please. So some of my takeaways from this internship is that Maricopa County works together collectively for the best outcome of our community. We work towards the greater good that we're all passionate about. I think everyone who works within the county has this passion to work towards just a better living area. We're here, so then the obstacles may arise. So that was something big on my part. I cannot even begin to thank my supervisor for just truly helping me get through all of the issues that would come up and telling me that, you know, this is not on me if I didn't catch something, but we would learn together, and it was just a great process. And then lastly, don't be afraid to ask questions. You can never ask too many, and I can be one to attest to that, and so can my supervisor. And because the answers are endless, you'll always get an answer that will help you grow your knowledge of something and get you more comfortable in what you're working on. So if you look in the left side of my slide, from left to right, I have Brandy Campbell, myself, and Joanna Leva, who was probably my primary supervisor. She couldn't get her work done in a day. It was because I was always popping in her office with another question or something just to keep her involved in what I was doing. Next.
Thank you, Aubrey. Hi, my name is Emma Parker, and this semester I interned at the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office as well, in the Project Management Office within the Technology Bureau. I am a fourth-year student here at ASU, and I will be graduating next week with a Master's of Public Administration. Next slide, please. In addition to Aubrey, like I said, I also interned at MCSO, And a fun fact is that there are approximately 3,500 employees at MCSO, making it the fourth largest sheriff's office in the United States. Of these 3,500 employees was my awesome supervisor, Shannon Gittell, who is the commander for the project management office. Next slide, please. During the semester, I focused on two main projects, the Technology Bureau Operations Manual and the Disaster Recovery Plan. For the Operations Manual, I worked with many Technology Bureau employees in order to make an all-encompassing operations manual. I focused on developing the Project Management Office and the IT governance sections of the manual, as well as crafting an outline for the manual as a whole. During this process, I learned a lot about what a Project Management Office does. I found it fascinating the amount of behind-the-scenes projects that go on to allow the Sheriff's Office to function. In addition, I learned about why governance and transparency are important to ensure that the policies and procedures are conducted in a proper manner. I also worked with many employees to understand their role in the Technology Bureau and what procedures they follow for their various duties. The second project I worked on was the Disaster Recovery Project for the Technology Bureau. For this plan, we utilize Gartner, which is a global and research advisory company. We use Gartner for their templates and disaster plan and business continuity expertise. This project has allowed me to work with many different employees in order to learn about what continuity plans and procedures are taken for different technology systems. Next slide, please. I think the MCLEAPS program has provided me with the opportunity to make an impact in many different areas. I've been able to apply my classroom knowledge gained here at ASU into real-world situations at MCSO. In addition, I impacted MCSO by helping kickstart two projects previously mentioned. Both of these projects had been in the very initial phases and now are in full force into being completed. And overall, this work in the MCLEAPS program has impacted Maricopa County as a whole. This program has allowed myself, along with all the other interns, to be public servants for the county and to promote the county's mission of creating a healthy and safe environment for residents. Next slide, please. To wrap up, here are some of my key takeaways. First, what you think an organization does is only one aspect of the entire organization. When you think of MCSO, you likely think of the deputies you see on the streets and in their squad cars. There is so much more that goes on to make their jobs possible and keep the office running. The work of the Technology Bureau and the Project Management Office is a huge testament to that. Second, there's something to learn from everyone. During this semester, I've continued to learn something new from each person I worked with. Whether it was something related to what we were working on or a certain leadership style, I repeatedly learned something from everyone. And lastly, this kind of ties into my previous takeaway. It is never stop learning and asking questions. As I am finishing up my internship and my time here at ASU, I will forever be a lifelong learner. Going into this internship, I was not super familiar with technology systems and the goals of a project management office. I learned that asking questions and staying curious is the key to learning. Next slide, please. We would like to give a very special thank you to all of our supervisors and the coordinators who make this program possible. We appreciate the work and time you put into the MCLEAPS program and how invested you are in your academic and professional development. Thank you to everyone involved from ASU and Maricopa County.
I'd like to thank the second team for that presentation. The students have had an opportunity to tell you about what they've been doing this semester and to get out their thank yous and takeaways from the experience. I'd now like to open up the floor to the guests. If you would like to congratulate the students, I've seen some things in the comments, but please feel free to unmic and share with the group your congratulations to the students who interned with Maricopa County this semester.
Hey, I'll jump on real quick just because I have another meeting in about 10 minutes, so I didn't want to miss the opportunity to wish well our own Jimmy Mack, who became part of the McDim family and under very unique and interesting times. Got a lot of great experience with us. Super hard worker, very organized. We all liked him immediately. And we've had 3 MCLEAPS interns now with James. And so far, every one of them have gone on to be employed after our internship. Our first one went to work for the State Department of Emergency and Military Affairs, Sabrina. We hired Marissa, and James is going on to a second internship that's going to take him through the rest of the year up in Utah County. So I think we'll call that 100% success rate with getting our interns trained and ready to go out into the working world, which is exactly what we want to accomplish. And James got to go through it through real world incidents, which is some of the best training you can get. And I know he's going to go on to do great things. And if the timing's right, maybe we'll get him back after he finishes his other internship. So I just want to say good luck to James. I know you're going to do well, and we liked having you around. So have fun up in Utah.
Thank you, Rob.
Hello, this is Zoe Richmond, and again, just wanted to thank Drew for coming in and really hitting the ground running. She was able to give the team a perspective that we didn't have. I think some of the other interns mentioned a lot of jargon and mentioned a lot of acronyms. And I just wanted to thank Drew for coming in with that perspective of review our material, and not knowing transportation, how would you take this information? So her clear eyes were really invaluable to the team. Great at organizing, was able to fit into the team wonderfully. So I also want to thank everybody on the ASU end and the HR end on the back end of things, of making sure that we were able to get such qualified candidates like Drew to walk through the door. And even though it was difficult to onboard virtually, I think what it really shows is the next generation is being prepared for the future of the workforce, which might not be walking into an office 8 to 10 hours a day, and being able to be flexible and still have that focus is important. Drew, all the best of luck. Thank you so much for everything that you did for the team, and just know that some of the projects that you've done will live on past your time here at McDodd.
Thank you, Zoe.
This is Jeffrey Gonsher. A couple of points. The first is I saw a number of the students who are in my classes this year and have been in my classes in prior years, and that's a really good feeling. To see these students, who are certainly much younger than I am, to perform at a professional level at such an early stage of their careers shows some really good things for the future, for our, not just for Maricopa County, but for our government in general. And as we pass the responsibility of governing to another generation, it's very comforting to know that we're in good hands, and maybe even better, are in better hands than when I entered the profession several years ago. So all very, very impressive, and I congratulate all the students on the great work they've done. So thank you.
Hi, this is Tabitha Martineau, and I'm a supervisor in data integrity and analytics. And it was a pleasure working with Jess and with ASU. This is our first time having an intern in our department, and we're looking forward to more collaboration with ASU. So thank you for all the great candidates.
This is Joanne Leva with the Sheriff's Office. And first, I want to congratulate all the interns on their progress and achieving, this internship. And I also want to thank Brianna, of course, and wish her all the best. And I know a lot of you will be continuing your education, and some of you will be starting your careers as well. And so I wish you all the best on your journey, and this journey of life. And you guys are the future for us as well. And so nothing but best wishes. And Aubrey was, unfortunately, we didn't have that specific project for her, but she did get a behind the scenes look at what it takes now to process orders of protection. And unfortunately, it is a reality, and these things do come up and we have to process them. And unfortunately, again, there are so many. And so she got that, the real life version of the orders. And again, reading these petitions of, you know, people needing them, and she was very compassionate as well. And so I thank you, Aubrey, because I know it was a lot as well, but I do thank you. You came prepared, and thank you all again, and all the best to your futures.
Thank you, Joanne.
To say something, I would like to give a special shout out to Kendra. Kendra was such an amazing intern with juvenile probation. She brought so much light and creativity to our department, really adjusted beautifully to the circumstances of COVID. I'm so proud of her and all of her contributions. They made such a positive difference in our department. I'm going to miss her. Best of luck to you on graduation. I'm so proud of all the growth over the last year. And also best wishes to all of you guys. You did a tremendous job today. And it's just so exciting to see your learning. I learn from you every semester. So thank you so much for sharing all of these great experiences, and just keep going. And hopefully we see you again with Maricopa County.
This is Danielle Warren. I am a learning and development instructor. I did the PDs this semester, the professional development days with the interns. And I just wanted to really recognize their hard work. I actually brag about the interns a lot in my trainings for permanent county staff because the interns, they're full-time students and full-time interns, but then they also have their real lives too, their parents or their spouses, you know, and they really are just so dedicated. And I'm just so incredibly impressed with all of the interns each semester. And so thank you all so much for your hard work and your contributions.
Hi, this is Shane Wickforth with the County School Superintendent's Office, and Anna Salas is our 7th intern with the MCLEAPS program. We've been very, very happy and pleased with the individuals that have come through ASU MCLEAPS program. And so we've got lots of projects that we've been working on, and unfortunately she didn't get to see the completion of a legislative agenda that we've been pursuing, but she did have some tremendous access to some highly sensitive, if not political, evolutions within our office. And that being that we've had to appoint a record 4 members to governing boards since she began. That is actually very unusual. And so she has sat in on a lot of those interviews and conversations and deliberated and dealt directly with the elected countywide official, Superintendent Watson, as part of that process. So let's just say that the integrity that she has displayed and the work that she's put into helping us get through that process is invaluable to us, and we look forward to the great things that she's going to do in her career ahead. So congratulations, Anna, and to all your peers in the MCLEAPS program.
Anybody else that wanted to congratulate?
This is Shannon Gattel. I'll start my video. There I am. So I just wanted to say thank you to Emma. We really enjoyed having her on our team. She was able to start right in day one on the operations manual that we've been putting off forever. And she created the backbone of that manual with very little instructions. So we're using that now and filling it in. Everyone on my team enjoyed working with Emma. She was such a nice person and smart person. I feel incredibly lucky that I had the opportunity to work with her. She was so sweet that my team hadn't seen each other for a while because we don't use videos. So she was on one of our calls to introduce her, and we were all on video, and she thought we were all cute because we were all looking at each other and saying, "Oh, look at your hair and look how," and she thought we were funny because we were acting like kids when we saw each other for the first time in so long. So she did a fantastic job with our disaster recovery plan, and she had some background on that no one in my team had. So she was very valuable in that, and I wish her the best of luck, and I'm really proud of her. So thank you, Emma.
Thank you so much, Shannon. Thank you.
Anybody else? Last call. Well, with that, I would like to thank everybody who shared congratulations with the students, either through the chat or here verbally. And I'd like to move on. Usually at this part of the program, we award a certificate to each of the students. And I would like to take just a few minutes to read through the names of the students and the department that they were with one more time for you. And then we'll have some closing remarks to wrap our event this afternoon. I think these are just in alphabetical order by last name. The first, Jordan Hicks with the Facilities Management Department. Jess Johnson, Superior Court of Arizona, Maricopa County. Wanru Barbara Liu with the Human Services Department, Finance. Abriana Mason with the Sheriff's Office, Judicial Enforcement Division. James McKinnon with the Department of Emergency Management. Emma Pockert with the Sheriff's Office, Project Management. Anna Salas with the School Superintendent's Office. Kendra Schoenig with the Juvenile Probation Department. Drew Segato with the Department of Transportation. And Elizabeth Waters with the Office of Procurement Services. Please give the students a round of applause. And thank you for sharing with us today. For some closing remarks, I'd like to turn the program over to Vice Dean Cindy Leeds.
Thank you, Mary Jo, and congratulations, everyone. I know we're running short on time, so I'll be pretty brief, but if everyone can stay on, it would be really great to be able to take a selfie, or I can't remember, there's a word for when you take a picture through Zoom. So we should make sure we get everybody onto camera and take a picture when we're all done. So let me start by reiterating what Dean Coppell said when he started, that this is a true partnership. We would not be able to accomplish advancing this program without our partnership with Maricopa County. I think a special, thanks to the coordinators, to Carrie and Danielle. You know that this is a labor of love and a lot of work. Thank you also to Jan and Mark from the HR department for your leadership, and a huge shout out to Mary Jo. We could not do this without Maricopa County, but we also could not do it without the ASU side contributing as well. And Mary Jo has been organizing and coordinating this program literally since its inception. She may be the only one left who was here at day one. And it is also a labor of love for her. I know her passion and commitment to helping to foster and create opportunities for our students across ASU to have hands-on learning experiences is beat by none. So thank you so much, Mary Jo, for your commitment to this program. Huge thanks to our students and graduates. Most of you are graduating, some are not quite there yet, regardless of where you are in your undergraduate or graduate programs. MCLEAPS is an ASU across the university program. So while while it might be administered out of Watts College, all students at ASU are eligible. And what I love is we have several students from our college on this call, but we have also lots of students from other colleges across ASU. I just listening to you talk, but then also hearing many of your supervisors get online and say thank you, just shows not only that you learned a lot, but you contributed a ton. And so it's just creates such a warm feeling to hear about your learning, but more important about your service, to learn about your commitment to our community and knowing that what you learned is not lost, but will go on in your leadership moving forward. So we're super proud of each and every one of you. And then I'll close with this. Huge shout out to the supervisors on the call. I myself was very young in my undergraduate program. I started at 17, so I graduated at 21, and I went directly on to my master's in social work in Illinois. And at that point at 21, my internship for my first year of my master's program was to work as an ongoing caseworker for Cook County, Chicago child welfare system. Pretty young. I was really enthusiastic and I think relatively smart, but frankly knew nothing about what it meant to intervene on the lives of children, youth, and families. And the only reason that I look back and go, wow, what in the world was somebody 21 years old making decisions about people's lives and their children, the things that are more important to us than anything else. That's a pretty high-risk situation. I really didn't have the competency to be doing the work I was doing. But I'm pleased to tell you that I did quite good work that year. And in fact, there were no children, youth, or families harmed under my care during that first year. And that is because I had a great supervisor. I had a supervisor who understood the dual function of monitoring and mentoring. I had a supervisor who made sure that I did not do any long-term permanent damage to any children, youth, or families in my care. But that person also understood that mentoring me and growing me up in my own competency, skill set, my leadership, my knowledge, and my interpersonal skills to be able to do work that's pretty important and also pretty difficult. And so this is I'm now celebrating my 30 years in social work. And here I am still talking about my supervisor that I had at 21 years old. So to the supervisors on the call, you make a huge difference. You often don't get any more time in your schedule or any additional pay to take on the responsibility of mentoring a student, but you do it because you know that it contributes, it stretches you in a lot of ways, that students ask questions, they get us to think differently, they bring cutting edge knowledge from the classroom into our fields, and so that's an opportunity for you. But you also know that what you teach can go beyond yourselves upon their graduation and throughout their careers. So thank you, Maricopa County. Thank you particularly to the supervisors who have mentored and cared for and encouraged and laughed with our students and our graduates. We are super thankful for your leadership and your contributions. Congratulations, everyone. Mary Jo, what do you think? Do you think we figure out how to try to get a group photo somehow here?
Someone to take a screenshot. And we are recording, so if everybody turns on their camera, we can do that.
Great. I see the camera.
Gallery view.
Yep. I've got Jan's phone still on my gallery view, so I'm not sure if I'm able to kick that out without reorganizing the order. So I think I'll probably go with mine. Mary Jo, does yours look good too in terms of taking a picture?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, well, let's do a countdown. And everybody either can forks up or smile or cheer. I'm gonna do a print screen, Mary Jo, and maybe somebody can do a cell phone version, and then we'll go from there. All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. All right. Spectacular. All right, congratulations, everyone. You're spectacular. Mary Jo, any final thoughts as we close up?
Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. Thank you, students, for your work this semester, supervisors as well. Thank you, Dean, for your comments, and Dan for your support of the program. We look forward to another semester in the fall.
Sounds great. Congratulations, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.